So this guy became a millionaire by treating patients who were already dead, and he wasn't some random ghoul. This was one of Chicago's most beloved doctors, a man people trusted with their lives. Little did they know he valued them more after they were gone. This is the story of Mikos, and it starts exactly where it should, with the perfect picture of trust. Imagine a podiatrist, a foot doctor, not some high-flying surgeon, just a local guy. He's got that perfect bedside manner. He's charming, he listens, he remembers your kids' names. His patients, they are fiercely loyal. They're elderly, they're vulnerable, and they absolutely adore him. To them, he's a saint in a white coat, the one doctor who actually seems to care. He sets up his practice on the northwest side of Chicago, and for a while it's just that. A normal, thriving practice built on genuine patient care. But Mikos is smart, maybe too smart, and he starts to see the system not just as a way to heal people, but as a machine with rules he can bend. It all starts with Medicare. You know, the government program that pays for seniors' health care. It's a massive, complex beast of bureaucracy. And for a guy like Mikos, it's a golden goose waiting to be plucked. He starts small. It's almost innocent at first. A patient comes in for a simple toenail clipping, something Medicare doesn't really pay for, but Mikos doesn't bill for a toenail clipping. No, he bills for a full-blown surgical procedure. The government gets a code, they see surgery, and they cut a check. No questions asked. It's easy, way too easy. And the money starts trickling in, more than a trickle, a steady stream. He's doing this over and over. A trim becomes an operation. A simple checkup becomes a complex consultation. He's padding every bill, squeezing every last drop out of the system. For every single patient that walks through his door, he's billing for things he never did. The money printer is officially on, and Mikos is getting a taste for it. This isn't just about paying the bills anymore. This is about winning. But here's where the story takes a hard left turn into the truly insane. Because padding the bills of living patients has a ceiling. There's only so much you can fake. Then Mikos has his light bulb moment. His big, terrible, $1,000,000 idea. What if the patient doesn't have to be alive for him to treat them? This is the leap. This is where he goes from a common grifter to a master of the macabre. A patient passes away. Normally their file is closed. Their billing stops. But not in his office. In his office, death is just a clerical error he refuses to make. He keeps the file open. He keeps the patient alive on paper. And he keeps billing Medicare for them. Now, he's not just performing fake surgeries on the living. He's performing them on the dead. Month after month, year after year, he's submitting claims. A surgery in March. A follow-up in July. Another procedure the next year. All for a patient resting peacefully in a cemetery. It is a whole-ass ghost ledger, an entire shadow practice of patients who can't talk, can't complain, and can't ever reveal his secret. And the money? It's not a stream anymore. It's a tidal wave. We're talking over $1,000,000. He's billing for thousands of surgeries that never happened. For just one patient, a woman named Joyce Brannon, he bills for 87 separate surgical procedures. She would later tell investigators he just trimmed her toenails and did 2 minor procedures. 87. The audacity is breathtaking. With this river of cash, Mikos builds a new life. He's not just a friendly neighborhood doctor anymore. He's rich. He buys luxury cars. We're talking a red Pontiac convertible. He's got boats. He's got properties. He's living a life his real practice could never have supported. It's a fantasy funded by a lie, a kingdom built on top of graves. And for a long time, no one has a clue. He's insulated by the love of his living patients and the silence of his dead ones. But a scheme this big, this bold, always has a loose thread. And that thread is about to get pulled. The problem with $1,000,000 lie is that you get comfortable, you get sloppy. And the numbers, they just get too crazy to ignore. Federal investigators, the people who stare at spreadsheets all day, start to see a pattern. One doctor, a simple podiatrist in Chicago, is billing for more surgeries than entire hospital departments. The numbers are a red flag the size of Texas. Then comes the tip. Someone inside, maybe an employee who sees something they can't unsee, makes a call, a whistleblower. And suddenly, Mikos isn't just a rich doctor. He's a target. A federal investigation kicks off, not with a bang, but with whispers. Agents quietly start visiting his former patients. They start with the living ones. They show up at their doors, these polite, serious people in suits, and they ask simple questions. The records show Dr. Mikos performed surgery on your foot on this date. Can you tell us about that? And patient after patient says the same thing. Surgery? No, he just clipped my toenails. The feds are building a case, brick by brick. But Mikos gets word. He knows they're sniffing around, and he does what any cornered animal would do. He tries to fight back. He starts calling his patients, the ones he knows have been subpoenaed. He tells them what to say. He coaches them. Just say you don't remember the specifics. Your memory is foggy. He tries to obstruct justice, to muddy the waters just enough to save his own skin. But the feds have one patient they really want to talk to. A woman who knows the truth and isn't afraid to say it. Her name is Joyce Brannon, the same woman he billed 87 fake surgeries for. She's a former nurse, she's disabled, and she lives a quiet life in the basement of a church where she helps out. But she's tough. She has a strong sense of right and wrong. Joyce tells the investigators everything. She confirms the whole scam. The feds know she's their star witness. They serve her with a grand jury subpoena. She is scheduled to testify on January 31st. This is it. Her testimony will be the final nail in his coffin. Mikos knows this. He calls Joyce, begging her not to testify, telling her she'll ruin his practice. She refuses. She tells him she has to do the right thing. He believes she's the one and only witness who can truly bring him down, the one person standing between him and his kingdom. And now the story turns from fraud to something much, much darker, because Mikos decides that if he can't silence his star witness with words, he'll do it another way. It's January 27th, just 4 days before her grand jury testimony. Mikos makes a choice. He drives to the church where Joyce lives. He finds her in her small basement apartment, and he shoots her, not once, but 6 times at close range. 3 times in the back, and then 3 more times in her neck and head. A cold-blooded execution. He leaves her there, making sure she can never speak a single word against him. When the police arrive, they find her body, and lying right beside it, the federal subpoena for her testimony. Mikos thinks he's solved the problem. He thinks he's cut the head off the snake. But all he's done is turn a fraud investigation into a murder investigation. The feds go into overdrive. This isn't about money anymore. This is about a witness being murdered. They pull his phone records, which show him making calls from near Joyce's apartment in the days leading up to the murder. They search his car and find notes about the church's hours, information you could only get by going inside. They search a storage locker he rented. Inside, they find a collection of guns. But one is missing, a .22 caliber revolver, the exact type of weapon used to kill Joyce Brannon. It's never found. The evidence is overwhelming. The case goes to trial, and the jury hears it all. The fake surgeries, the stolen $1 million, the intimidation, the coaching of witnesses, and the final brutal act of murder. They see the web of lies he spun to build his fortune and the cold-blooded violence he used to protect it. The verdict comes back. Guilty on all counts, guilty of fraud, guilty of obstruction, and guilty of murder. And the final resolution for this once-beloved doctor? The man who twisted trust into a weapon and turned healing into a ghoulish money-making scheme? He was sentenced to death, the ultimate price for a man who thought he could get away with anything. His name isn't just Mikos. His full name is Dr. Ronald Mikos, and his story is a chilling reminder that sometimes the most terrifying monsters wear a smile and a white coat.